Sunday the 26th of February 2012. Where is the year going? And I'm out in Cambridgeshire. Sorry, is it Essex? Can't remember. Yeah, it's Essex, isn't it? Just about to do free walk 130, which is around 11.5, 12 miles from Great Chesterford to Newport via Audley End, Saffron Walden. It's a cracking day so far, weather-wise, but I'm sure a certain football result today at around about 3 o'clock will put a damper on it. Ironic really that I've chosen today to make a rare venture out to what is essentially Tottenham territory really. Anyway, a miracle could happen, Arsenal might win. So let's press on, see what the day holds. Great Chesterford's All Saints Church, which is 13th century, but as you can see by this end bit, many additions. Sun's right in my face, but trying to get the time there. 20 past 11. Plenty of birdsong around today. Fantastic. And from another angle, probably a better angle actually. See the amount of flint in it. One of those lovely village signs in School Street mentioned in the text, and there's the reason why. Building again made of flint. Crown and Thistle pub mentioned in the text with an unusual date there. Is it 1825? 1582? God knows, I'd imagine it's 18th century, or 19th century, sorry. So here we are, having just left Great Chesterford, heading southeast, having just crossed the farm track mentioned in the text, headed towards Little Chesterford. Skylarks are singing, plenty of other bird song around. That time of year now where territories are being marked up, etc, etc. Not a great fan of Essex, which I've clearly established we're in, not Cambridgeshire. God knows how I slipped up there. Not a great fan of Essex or Hertfordshire walks really. Find them a bit bland and characterless. But this one seems to have promise. M11's never far in the background, never far away. It's the trouble with Hertfordshire and Essex, they're pretty built up. Bench has been planted here on the outskirts of Little Chesterford for views of what, I'm not quite sure. Having derided Essex and Hertfordshire a little bit a minute ago, having said that, variety is the spice of life. So I'm happy walking anywhere really, except in built up areas, as you've probably gathered. River Cam just flowing there on my right. Can't actually see it there at the moment, but it is in there, believe me. St Mary the Virgin, Little Chesterford. Another 13th century church, which was apparently restored in the 19th century. Okay, I've got company on my left. How are you? Still got his winter jacket on, so he's probably pretty warm today. Yep, got nothing for you. Pretty ineffective bit of fencing here. Just seen a muntjac deer leap over it, helping itself to this, well, I don't know what it is, corn. I don't know whether it's wheat, barley or what at this stage, but having a good old nibble in there. It's now gone into the woods on my left. And in on the concrete track next to Springwell Nursery, and you can see down on my left here why we've got drought restrictions in some places already. Little tributary here, there's just nothing in it. It doesn't look like there's been anything in it for a while either. I think the text describes Essex as a county of pylons. Well, there's a very good example. The wind farms of their day. View back towards the railway, which unusually is functioning well today. It's very difficult to get a train out this way on a Sunday because of engineering works for the Stansted Express. There's usually a bus involved, but not today, thank God. Well, another bench in the middle of nowhere. Interesting. Does offer a reasonable view, I guess. About 100 metres up here. So Essex isn't all flat. Weather's still delightful, which goes against the forecast that I read last night. It was meant to be white cloud all day. So this is a definite added bonus. Further views back. Pretty impressive despite the pylons. Now at the top of the field and just about to turn right, headed this way, and that would be a nice view if it wasn't for these pylons. Interestingly though, despite the proximity of Stansted Airport, this is a very pleasantly quiet walk. Plenty of chaffinch song there around. Further evidence of the drought conditions at the moment. I wonder where the poor frogs and toads are going to spawn this year. You can hear that skylark in the background. And there's another bench handily placed. Walking's pretty easy on grassy paths, so no mud even. It's too dry anyway. Town of Saffron Walden in the distance there. Apparently that's 2k away. Quite misty, so maybe the weathermen are getting their forecast right. There's a bit more cloud up there. Okay, there's the small chalky pit mentioned in the text, and just here on the left a rusty old sign pointing to Saffron Walden, which is that footpath here between two fields. Walking through an area on the map referred to as the vineyard, so I don't know if that refers to times past, possibly, seeing as we're near Saffron Walden. Standing next to Bridge End Garden, and a good shot there of that church. A very busy high street, and there's the suggested lunchtime pub, the 15th century 8 bells, with that church in the background, and the entrance to Bridge End Gardens just here on my left, which I'm going to use. Right, these gardens were bequeathed by a prominent Quaker, Francis Wilson, and originally laid out in the mid-19th century apparently. Should be somewhere to sit to eat in here. It's 1 o'clock now, so perfect timing. Half hour till kick-off. Plenty of Robin's song in here. I think this position under this cypress, is it? It's got a nice feel to it, albeit that it's blocking the sun. So I'll rest here. Okay, 1:35, lunch has been had, and the hole in the red wall is actually an alleyway underneath that house there, as you can see, which is very close here to the Fry Art Gallery, which is just closed for lunch. And up ahead of me here on the left is presumably Castle Street. Okay, this is St Mary the Virgin. Seems to be a lot of them around this area. This one being in Saffron Walden. An exceptionally large church reflecting the wealth created by the saffron industry. This one was apparently built in 1252 and then rebuilt in the 15th century in the perpendicular style, apparently. Further information on Google for those that are interested. Sun's back out, temperature's rising again. Sorry, got my dates wrong. Built in 1250. Some great features up there. Big old place. Further shot of the church. This is the main square, marketplace. Unfortunately, Spurs have got an early goal, 1-0 up already. Unbelievable. So much for my 2 magpies earlier. Some library. All reflecting the former wealth of this place. I'm just mad about saffron, to quote Donovan, I think it was. One of the rows, this being Mercer's Row, and this one being Butcher Row, which we have in my hometown of Hitchin. I suppose every old town's got one. The United Reformed Church. Self-explanatory. Next to the church hall there. Which now houses a Sally Army apparently. Lots of ancient buildings here. Well, not that ancient. 1841 over there in the background. And some old almshouses there. King Edward VI and Reverend Joseph Prime Almshouse Charity. There are said almshouses, or some of them. Just about to enter Audley Park. That's an interesting lodge house there. Going through that gate. Inside the grounds of Audley End Park, and this is our onward journey here to avoid some stepping stones apparently. Shouldn't think there's any water in that river at the minute anyway. Freshly built rookery up there. Probably laid the eggs already as well. Just thought I'd come and check out these stepping stones, see what all the fuss is about. And it seems the way across is just here. There's the stones. Great shot of Saffron Walden, St Mary the Virgin there, and the accompanying countryside roundabout here in Audley End Park. Delightful in here. Wind's picking up though. Might have to get the old wind canceller out in a minute. Getting over the stepping stones, by the way, was not too problematical, even with a rucksack on. Grassy path makes for easy walking. Can just make out the house there in the distance. Delightful afternoon. All the more so because Arsenal just pulled 2 goals back to equalise 2-2 at half time. Fingers crossed. Seems to be plenty of water here. and snowdrops over there. I believe on the hill there you can see Lady Portsmouth's column by all accounts, an 18th century obelisk. Google it for further information. Number of pillbox around the edge of the estate as well. So there's the house next to this busy B road. Managed by English Heritage. And on the other side of the road in the distance there is the circular temple built to commemorate the 7 Years' War, apparently. And another shot. Apparently the ornamental lake in front is made from a diversion of the River Cam. Interesting mix here from the ornamental bridge, a pillbox, the red stable buildings in the distance, the River Cam and the house. And even a miniature railway over there on the right, not functioning today though. Stable block from another angle. Just at the entrance here. Let's see what the prices are. Doesn't actually say, just gives the opening hours. Interesting. Not very informative. 1616, eh? Quite an age then. Private road running through Audley End village. Good to see they've got a sense of humour here as well. Still got the old village water pump. Could be handy when the drought's on. Okay, just passing the entrance to St Mark's College. Former 17th century building, well, they are 17th century buildings, now given over to a youth centre type activity. We're headed up there towards Abbey Farm. Okay, I now believe we're following the Harcamlow Way. Very pleasant shaded walk this might be in the summer. What an amazing build-up of sludge there. Just as we approach this busy B road ahead there. Fantastically and incredibly, Arsenal have come from 2-0 down to 5-2 up as we approach the end of the game. What a fantastic afternoon this is turning out to be. Beautiful. Fingers crossed. There's another one. Plenty of water around here. What a delightful footpath. That white stuff tells me there's either chemicals, lime in the water coming off the field runoff. Not very healthy though. Yuck. Got a rabbit warren and a half there. bank's almost falling down. Now I'm hoping at the end of this field we're going to find this wooden footbridge to cross over and walk alongside that wood there up on the right. So at this point here, go down alongside the wood as opposed to up there, and in the wood, let's have a look, there should be a stream down there, but again, dried up, nothing, dire. So there you go, stood on the footbridge, and there's what was the riverbed. Catkins starting to reappear. It's about to turn half left and continue up towards that wood. Smell of cabbages in this field here, and Newport over there in the distance apparently. As you can see, the sun's disappeared, it's clouded over, but I'm not worried because Arsenal have beaten Spurs 5-2. Joy oh joy. P Newport. Which is where we'll be pretty soon. Scenery coming up to Debden Water, a bit more wooded round here. That little tunnel of trees mentioned in the text can be bypassed to the left, I notice, if you don't fancy that. There's a footbridge mentioned in the text crossing Debden Water, and it is indeed dried up. Terrible. This is deepest midwinter really. We got a problem. Newport's church tower in the low evening sun. Suggested T-stop, the White Horse. So, I think this is the third St Mary the Virgin today. Obviously a popular figure around here. This is the one in Newport, by the way, in case you hadn't gathered by that time there. Good solid looking church, made of flint. Monk's Barn mentioned in the text. Guess you can tell we're in Essex, the county of burnt out cars. Okay, back at Newport, and unfortunately I've just missed the train 3 minutes ago, so I've now got 57 minutes to wait for the next one. Outrageous behaviour on a Sunday. Oh well, that'll teach me to go looking at churches, because if I hadn't gone to look at St Mary the Virgin, I'd have been here on time. There you go, that's life. Can think of worse places to be sitting for 57 minutes. Got a cacophony around me of chaffinches and song thrushes. And a dunnock. Amazing amount of bird song at this station. And there you go, up on the pylon, 2 magpies, which I've been seeing all day today. And they've certainly brought me luck. Well done, lads. Anyway, free walk 130 completed. Not too bad. As I say, Essex and Hertfordshire are not my favourite counties for walking. And they don't seem to be most people's either, judging by the amount of walks on the site. Pretty routine stuff. Arable fields, little bit of woodland. Not much else to say really. That's another one done, all 12.5 miles of it. The Arsenal result made the day.